You're listening to Arts Talk Radio, and I'm Michael Hasted. We bring you interviews as well as news relating to all aspects of the arts in Holland, which are either in English or where language is no problem. We concentrate on events in Amsterdam, The Hague, Rotterdam, and the surrounding areas.
Arts Talk Radio Online. Features on the arts in English.
Later, we talk to an English dancer and choreographer who we met recently in The Hague. And we have music from the Delft-based Trio Beiersbergen. But first... Okay, I'm with our old friend GREG SHAPIRO, and we're in the Ranol Theatre in The Hague, and you're doing your one-man show, but it's not stand-up, is it?
It's, honestly, it's a bit stand-up, yes, but it is at a literary cafe. Yeah, what is it? Literary Cafe Ranol here in The Hague. Yes, I am doing what is technically my 7th solo show, which is 60 minutes of climate good news, and that's I think something the world is needing right now.
Is there 60 minutes of good news about climate?
It all started with my son, who was turning 18, and said, I think I'm depressed. And I said, I remember being 18. But he said, no, specifically about the latest report from the United Nations panel on climate change. And I said, oh, right, depressed. Yeah, there's a lot of depressing news about climate. But since that moment, I challenged us both to find any good news on climate. And we quickly realized that there's actually more than we were expecting. So I said, yeah, I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to try to be Pollyanna about it. It's a lot of awful news, but it's not 100% bad. And I feel like the 10% of climate good news that is actually really quite encouraging. It just gets overlooked. And so, yeah.
Where do you find this good news? Is this just in Holland or is this worldwide?
It's worldwide, but a lot of news is specific to the Netherlands. And now that for my day job, I do speaking and hosting for events. I end up doing work for Dutch startups or for leaders in sustainability in the Netherlands, even for Shell Oil.
Oh dear.
And like the activist investor, Mark van Baal, who's a Dutchman, he have you heard about his movement? He says, well, anyone can be an investor. So he bought enough shares in Shell to show up at the investor meetings, and then he starts protesting from within the organization. So anyway, yeah, it's called Follow This. And he came to one of my shows, and you never know if one of these.
So how long? Yeah. Would it be right to say you are campaigning?
I'm campaigning. Yeah, sure. Yes. I'm for no elected position, but just my own sense of self-importance, I suppose.
So I haven't actually seen the show. We're sort of half an hour before you start.
Right.
And so give me an example of climate good news.
Sure. Well, there's just this week there was an example of cultivated meat. There are these magical machines. They turn grass into protein and belch out.
Bypassing the cow completely.
Yeah, right. Cultivated meat, I believe, is where they take it's lab grown, basically. And the joke I say in the show is that they prefer the term cultivated because lab grown makes you think of Frankenstein, but cultivated makes you think of young Frankenstein dressed in a tuxedo.
Gene Wilder.
Yes, singing Puttin' on the Ritz. It's much more palatable. Anyway, well, good. That's a good preview, Michael. If you get it. Not everyone's going to get a 1970s movie reference, but we do. Anyway,
there are benefits of being old.
Yes, right. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. Sorry, cultivated meats. This is it's a lab-grown meat. They take meat cells, protein cells from a living cow or pig, I suppose, and then they extract those and. They cultivate them. They grow them into basically patties of edible
And do they sell them as pork chops or T-bone steaks or just a lump of goo?
Right now, let's see. So there's Mosa meat from the Maastricht. They created, I think, almost 10 years ago, the world's first hamburger. So like beef burger, the world's most expensive. It was like 250,000 euros
but there are
at that
lots
point.
of sort of veggie burgers and things like that.
That's plant-based as well. Yeah.
What's the difference?
Oh, plant-based would be from plant-based proteins, but cultivated meat is from actual, bovine, cow cells, and they just grow them into actual, instead of the cow growing them, in its muscle tissue. It's grown in a lab.
This is actual meat, so a vegetarian wouldn't eat it?
Technically, no. If you're really vegans, I think, say that's not plant-based, I'm not going to eat that. That's why there are also Dutch, made plant-based alternatives. Like you'll see the veggie burgers in the supermarkets now. But I think the news just this week was that there are two companies. There's one in Maastricht called Mosa Meat. There's one in Leiden called Meatable. They've got regulatory approval to scale up their factories, I guess, their means of production, and soon those will be on the shelves at supermarkets as well. So,
when will this stuff be commercially
it's going
available?
to still be, I think, a matter of years. That was what I read in the news this past week, and they're still trying to get investor money too.
So this is sort of like 3D printing, but with meat.
There is also 3D printing of plant-based meat. There's 3D printed fake steak you can get now, and that is at a Dutch restaurant called Lutje. It's it's probably gross and disgusting to look at.
This is even more Big Brother than the end of the world through climate change.
Isn't it? Right, yeah. It's, Soylent Green is another 70s movie is reference. Yes, it all feels, or if you will, Brave New World. It's maybe a scary new world. Yeah, I guess, yeah. And yet, everybody keeps saying that the European Union is going to force us to start eating bugs and crickets or whatever. But it's just, it's the economies of scale, the startup money for new technologies that some of them crash and burn, some of them take off and become game changers. The more I've started paying attention to this subject, the more kind of exciting and funny examples I find.
Why are they doing this? Are they doing this because conventional farming cows can't produce enough?
Oh, sorry.
Or as an alternative?
Well, here's the boring details, but if you are worried or concerned about your carbon footprint for eating meat, the red meat in particular, I think, is just off the charts of carbon footprint. And it is, I think, to quote, I'm reading a book right now that's called Not the End of the World. And it's by a woman who works at Our World in Data. So she just leaves the headlines out of it, leaves the sentiment out of it. It's just crunching the numbers. And if you really want to make a difference, indeed, it's the cows that cause deforestation so that they can feed the grasslands to feed the cows. It's the methane from the cows. It's the CO2 to transport the cows to the markets. So, yeah, it's a lot of CO2, apparently. So, yes, people who are really trying to make a big difference are saying, if you can convert to eating plant-based meat or alternative proteins like cultivated meat, then, maybe you can get on an airplane and go vacation in Bali and not feel so bad. Or you can, not worry about separating your plastics from your metal.
But it often works like that. People think that because they're doing one good thing, it allows them to do two bad things.
Yes, that is human nature, isn't it? And yet, I've also done speaking for these waste-to-energy power plants, which are basically incinerators. But they've got us covered there as well. As the city of Amsterdam said, we're going to create a whole system of plastic recycling bins for everyone. And then within a year, they realized, humans are particularly bad at separating their waste, so we have machines that
Well,
can
it's
do
just
that
impractical
way better.
to have in your kitchen, 5 or 6 garbage cans. Is a
Oh
different
yeah,
thing.
yeah. I've well, actually, yeah. If you ever try staying in France, there's a lot of separation that has
Well,
to
I
happen.
think Switzerland is the worst.
Switzerland, I suppose, yes. And if you do your laundry after 9 p.m., there's like you get the police at your door.
It's the garbage police.
Well, yeah. And I don't know if it's funny, but even in my neighborhood, I've become the garbage police. I have a key to our garbage container, and I'm a volunteer now to clean up the streets.
What does that involve?
It started during...
Picking through the rubbish and finding
Yes, I
something
look
which
for
shouldn't be
people's-
there, and everybody has to now put their name on the garbage so that you can trace it back to them if it's in the wrong bin.
That would be a new one. Normally, people just remove their name and address from... Yes, right? Because we've all done it. Yes, as long as they can't trace it back to me. So, yeah, you really feel like you're doing crimes.
Okay, I think that'll do. Tell us about the show. That
Yes.
This is an occasional thing.
Right now,
it's not
there's-
an actual tour. It's occasional.
It's a labor of love, and I could take it to a theater booker and have a proper tour, but right now I am just performing it on what we call an ad hoc basis, and sometimes people call me, sometimes I give a call to a place where I have a long-standing relationship, like Theater Renewal here in The Hague, and I said, what are you doing for Earth Day? We can throw the theater open for you, and so I'm doing the show tonight.
And the show is called?
It's called Greg Shapiro Saves the Climate. It's 60 minutes of climate good news.
Fantastic. Greg Shapiro, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you.
Folks, if you're looking for a great publication, Arts Talk magazine. They talk about the arts, and it is so great bigly. It's the only news that is not fake.
Coming up at the end of June is the Rotterdam International Duet Choreography Competition, the RIDCC, which has become a major fixture on the international dance calendar. The competition was created 5 years ago by Maya Rust and Misha van Neuven, 2 dancers from Scapino Ballet in Rotterdam. I was with Maya at the Corso in The Hague recently to see the Avant Garde dance company from London, and Maya introduced me to the company's director, Tony Adigan, who is one of the judges at RIDCC. I asked Tony if he was a frequent visitor to Holland.
I've been back and forth from Holland for about 7 years, teaching in Tilburg and various places, doing workshops.
You're also a judge on the international...
RIDCC, yeah, I've been judging on RIDCC for about 3-4 years now. So that's been a pleasure to do, just, again, immersing myself in, the Dutch culture and in terms of the dance talent as well. So it's been great to do that, and that now actually bring the company here to showcase.
But I mean, Holland is the place to come for contemporary dance. I think pro capita it's probably the best in the world.
Seriously?
Seriously?
Yeah.
Seriously.
Do you know what, to be honest with you, whenever I've come here, I've always been inspired. It's been a place, even by students.
Yeah, I mean, the Netherlands Dance Theatre is incredible.
Oh yeah, NDT all day.
Scapino is fantastic.
All day.
Tell me a bit about your company. How long has it been going?
Been going 23 years now. I started when I was 19. No, we're based in UK.
Yeah.
Based in London, East London, but our dancers come from everywhere, so we all up and down the country, and some of them are international as well.
And it's a permanent company?
Yeah, permanent company, definitely permanent.
And how many of you are there?
Oh, in the company? Ooh, it kind of ranges. We have a plethora of dancers in other pieces as well. Yeah, exactly. So we have outdoor work. We do commercial shows as well. We do a lot of theatre tours as well. So we're quite sparse. And in terms of spectrum of work that we do, is quite varied.
Do you have a repertoire? Do you do?
Yes. AvantGardeDance.com is our website, and my website is TonyAdigun.com, and all of the work is there. Really, we do a lot of participation work with young kids. So I'm very passionate about education and, how can I put it, challenging a younger generation with a high level of art, really.
Do you normally quite political?
No, to tell you the truth, no. Normally, our last piece was called Fagin's Twist, which was an adaptation of Oliver Twist, looking at the backstory of Fagin.
It worked very well. Okay, Tony, thanks very much indeed.
Thank you very much, Michael. Take care.
That was Tony Adigan, founder and artistic director of the English Avant Garde dance company. Tony is one of the judges on the Rotterdam International Duet Choreography Competition, the RIDCC, and that takes place at Theatre Rotterdam over 3 days in June. The semi-finals are on the 21st and 22nd, and the final is on the Saturday, the 23rd.
Arts Talk Radio Online. Features on the arts in English.
To play us out, here's a tune from the excellent Delft-based Trio Beiersbergen. This is the Miles Davis composition, 4. I'm Michael Hasted, so till the next time, it's goodbye. Bye.